happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sound Healing Sundays. Sorry about that. Just got back from off the road from visiting friends, so that is always great, but I was beating the rain because I can hear that coming. For today, I wanted to talk about, it's been a really hot week, and I hear a lot of people, when the weather changes, you hear mixed reviews, right? When it's cold, people are going to complain about the cold. When it's hot, people are going to complain it's too hot, they're irritable. And so you think about that, as it gets hot, a lot of people are excited about it, but it also does bring that little bit of like stickiness and irritability and agitation, just easily frustrated. And so the video that I'm actually recording for this upcoming week for Healing Not Healed talks a little bit about that low frustration tolerance and how, everyone has their own level of frustration tolerance and level of irritability, anxiousness, how they handle stress. And that's based off life experiences, that's based on personal traumas. And so with that being said, and this being kind of a season of, trying to manage your emotions a little bit more, trying to manage that irritability a little bit more, especially when there's a lot of stressors and triggers going on around this season, especially being more sociable too, thinking about that as well. I thought about doing a guided meditation together, thinking about exploring some of our coping skills and just kind of safety measures, because I'm thinking about those that are highly irritable and just need a little bit more support with coping mechanisms, and exploring that a little bit more for themselves and just why that tool is in their toolbox. And so just also finding an emotional safety net for yourself as well as we do the guided meditation. So if you want to get comfortable, we actually call this the bound angle pose. I have a dress on, but if you can get comfortable like this, if you can sit as comfortable as you want. Everyone's flexibility is different, so just get as comfortable as you feel. So if you want to go ahead and close your eyes, like I said, go ahead and get comfortable. Relax your shoulders, relax your eyebrows, relax the tension in your face. Start to focus in on your breath more. Take a couple deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Again, feel the air fill in your lungs. Breathe in through your nose and hold. Release slowly through your mouth. One more deep breath in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Again, relaxing your shoulders. Releasing the tension in your wrist and your arms. Just completely relaxing, settling into your seat. Focusing in on your breathing. Quieting the thoughts in your mind. Picture yourself walking into a white room. You have a backpack. Just a plain black backpack. In this white room, there's simply a chair and a table. You walk into the room, you shut the door behind you, and you take a seat. This is your safe room. In this room, you are free to express yourself in any way that you desire. It is your protection, your safety, your security. It's where you can escape when you are having a bad day or increased stress. On this table, You place your backpack. When you open it, you're going to have 5 items in your backpack. These are 5 things that make you feel safe and secure and help regulate your emotions when you are feeling heightened. These items can be anything that your heart desires, but it has to be able to fit into that backpack. And you can only have 5 items. So as you open up your backpack, think about and explore what these 5 items are. Think about them in detail. How do they feel? What do they look like? Do they have a scent? Do they have a shape? What is the size of this item? Do they make noise? Do they have a certain color? Again, one by one, take these items out of this bag and place it on your table. In this room, it is safe, it is secure, it is where you can escape to your safety when you are feeling overwhelmed. Again, I'll give you a moment of silence to think about what those items are and to place them on this table. Give you a few more minutes to wrap up with thinking about what those items are that you're placing on your table. Again, you're slowly removing the items from your backpack and placing them on the table and identifying what are these 5 things that help you feel more regulated, more logical, more calm, more stable. You see your items laid out across on the table, and you notice each one by one, and you express gratitude for how they make you feel more safe, more secure. Think about what benefits they have to you and how you can utilize them. You take a step back in admiration, and you place them back in your bag. You know you have the time and the space to utilize them when necessary, and you feel more secure that you have access to them at all times. You place your backpack back on your shoulders and you leave the room. You shut the door behind you and you lock the door. You place the key back in your pocket. Take a moment to take a couple deep breaths and come back with us as we talk about our journal prompt. Again, in through your nose, out through your mouth. One more time, in through your nose, out through your mouth. So the reason that I did that particular guided meditation is that because I know, especially for people that have experienced a lot of high emotion, I will say that experiencing a lot of agitation, frustration, high anxiety, you don't always know what accessible tools you have to utilize to help calm you down in the moment. And instead of acting irrationally or impulsively, saying things we don't mean, doing things we don't intend to do, and just reacting out of those emotions, we can stop, take a moment. What is in my safety bag? What is in my toolbox that I can utilize to kind of help calm and regulate myself in this moment, and so that I can go back and try to address the issue. And so, typical day-to-day normal people that haven't really experienced a lot of trauma, they can readily access those type of skills and be able to self-regulate on a day-to-day basis. But not a lot of people have that, those skills accessible to them, and are just highly emotional, highly reactive people, and so just need a little bit more assistance with that. And so I do want you to journal about what are those 5 items that you identified as your coping skills, your safety item, your that piece of belonging that helped you feel a little bit more secure, and journal a little bit about why you chose that item and what was that connected to you that made you feel secure, or how do you plan to utilize it to help you feel a little bit more safe and grounded, and what can you use in those moments. And, I thought about limiting it to the size of the backpack because, thinking creatively, when we are in high stress situations, we don't always have access to one thing or another. So it is good to have a variety of coping skills, because you might not have the one that's like your favorite go-to coping skill. It's good to have diversity and flexibility in that, because you might not, again, have access. So what are those 5 things that you identified? And go ahead and journal about what they were and why. Okay, healing feel. So I'll share a few of mine. I definitely said that I had to have some type of music, obviously. I needed something that I can play music on in order to calm my mood or to uplift my spirit, but the room has to have some music. I also said that I had to have my blanket. I have a cute little pink blanket that is just, I like to swaddle myself. I like the comfort. I like the familiarity of it. I like the softness of it. So it's a texture thing, and that makes me feel comfortable and safe. Obviously my journal, I want to be able to express myself and write, and be able to vent and just have a safe space to get my thoughts out. And then I have my dad's necklace. I think I'm very connected to like him in a sense of like safety and protection and things like that. So that's something I would want in the room with me, just as like a symbolic something. And then lastly, for me, art supplies. Like I can probably get lost in creativity and be just fine and just feel safe and secure in that, and just, like I said, get lost in creativity. So if you want to go ahead and get comfortable, I'm going to go ahead and start the sound bath meditation. You can go ahead and relax, grab your mat, or you can stay seated. Either way, you can just go ahead and get comfortable, and we'll go ahead and get started. Healing fam, if you want to gently go ahead and wiggle your toes and get a good stretch and come back and join me. I appreciate you being here this Sunday. Again, remember to keep your toolbox handy in your thoughts, in your heart, and your mind. When you're feeling agitated, frustrated, remember that you have plenty of skills to utilize to help regulate yourself, regulate your nervous system, help calm you and stabilize your mood, okay? Again, I appreciate you being here with me this Sunday. The light that is within me sees the light that is within you. Namaste. Have a good Sunday. Thank you.